So, as many of you know, we are selling our off-grid homestead, and one of the questions that has come up or that may come up to anyone that is interested is, what exactly can you do for work when you live remotely or off-grid and you don't necessarily want to go to a in-person job? So this morning when I woke up, I just kind of sat down and kind of ran through a bunch of ideas, and I've come up with 17 ideas, and this was all in a matter of about 10 minutes with zero research. I'm sure there's many other jobs out there that you can do, but this is something that is basically top of mind right now for us because we are and we have been working remotely for a while. And a lot of these ideas here, these 17 ideas, they do not require much education. A lot of this stuff can be self-taught online. There's a lot of free courses. If anyone's interested out there, I can definitely point you in the right directions where you can get your certificates for free, where you can get your diplomas for free, where you can find jobs for free. And one that just came up to my mind that I don't have on this list is cybersecurity. That is the up and coming trend right now, and there's so much demand for it. You could easily make six figures in cybersecurity these days without spending much money in the education system, such as college or university. So let's run down the 17 that I have on here. I already gave you one, cybersecurity. Look into it. The next one I got is affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing is similar to drop shipping, where you are basically selling products. However, with affiliate marketing, you do not actually move the products yourself. You are using a link from another website to promote on your site, and then when they click on that site, you get a commission off that link click. And that all depends on the site that you're using, your percentages, the demand of the products, the quality, where they come from, all that stuff. So affiliate marketing is a way to get up and going, and a lot of these jobs that I'm talking about require $0 to start up, except for a few of them, such as dropship shipping, which is the next one. So drop shipping is you're actually selling physical products, which is something that I do. However, I do not touch any of the items. You set up a store online, and basically all your products are on that website, and when someone buys it, I've had it set up where it's automated that I do not have to pay for the item, or I have to pay for the item. However, I don't have to touch it. It is automatically sent to a supplier, and that supplier sends it to my client, and I get the commission out of it. The beauty with drop shipping is that you are able to mark up your own products to whatever profit margins that you would like. The only problem with that is it does take a little bit of money up front to get up and going, especially if you're setting up things on your own. It's a little bit of a learning curve, learning how to set up your store, finding products, email marketing, all that stuff, so that you can retain clients and customers and push more products to them. The next thing you can do is, especially if you have a background in some sort of career or job, is a consultant. Now, I was looking at doing electrical consulting when I first came out here. However, I should have learned as a contractor. People are kind of stupid when it comes to working with tools, and so I was doing more babysitting than anything. However, if you wanted to do some sort of consulting, whereas I see the biggest trend right now is life coaching. So if you're someone that has a lot of experience in life and how to navigate through life, building businesses, things of that nature, you can help people through their process, especially the younger generation these days who are lost. So you can be a consultant in whatever field that you are in. The next item on the list is freelancing or virtual assistant. Now, there are two sites I'm going to tell you right off the bat you can go to. One is called Upwork and the other one is called Fiverr. Upwork is typically based worldwide, where Fiverr is based in the UK. However, depending on where you live in the world, you can typically use all these sites. Now, what is freelancing and a virtual assistant? So freelancing and virtual assistant is just that. You are helping people do random jobs. So, for instance, Kimberly has a virtual assistant that lives on the other side of the world somewhere, and she does her emails, she does her content scheduling, she does lead generation, she does whatever little minuscule jobs that Kimberly doesn't want to do and would rather someone else do. So that could be also data entry, talking to clients, dealing with whatever that a company might need. So if you go on to Upwork or Fiverr, you can kind of look at virtual assistants, see what they do, also spreadsheets, you name it. There's so many little jobs that secretaries used to do and having to go to a job to do that now you can do comfy at your home and not have to do it on a schedule or be anywhere for a set amount of time. Now, depending on who you're working for, they might require you to work certain hours. It all depends. And the beauty with working online, there's so much work out there that you can pick and choose exactly who you want to work with, name your price and all that. You're not going to an interview, getting all dolled up, blah, blah, blah. You can stay at home and do your own thing. Now, the next item on the list is investments. Being that we are in 2022, the market's a little shaky, you might not want to get into that right now. However, this is something that I have done, or I am doing currently, and I have done in the past. So investments you can do, there's so many different ones that you can do. You can do stocks, you can do bonds, and then there's other things that they don't tell you, where you can do private lending for real estate investments. So you might have someone who is a home flipper or a renovator or something like that, and they do not have the capital to purchase a home and renovate it and then sell it on the market. So what you can do with that is, if you have a bunch of money, so say you have like 100,000, 200,000 in the bank and you want to invest it somewhere and makes a good return on it. So typically private lending is a route that you can take. Usually contact some sort of mortgage broker typically that is looking for those type of people. If you need someone that does Canada-wide, hit me up. I can refer you to a great mortgage broker who works in Ontario and that does work Canada-wide, and he can help you out with that with that idea. Now, with private lending, typically you send that money out 100, 200K to this mortgage broker or to the client who is looking to purchase the house. Yes, lawyers are involved, paperwork's involved, all that type of stuff, but all those fees are passed on to the contractor, to the flipper or whatever. So say you send out $100,000 to this client. Typically that money is lent out on a 6-month basis at a 10% interest rate. So after 6 months, you will be typically getting 60 grand, right? Or sorry, 10 grand. On top of that also, which I have had experience with, some of the private lenders may ask for a fee to be paid for on top of that. So one of the instances that we did is we borrowed about $600,000 from a private lender back in the day. We took it, renovated it, but before we could even touch that money, the private lender wanted $18,000 in fees plus their 10% interest rate on top of that. And basically, here's your money, give me mine, and do what you want. The way we did it was we use that money in 3 months rather than 6 months, so you pay less on the interest. Yes, you still have to pay the $18,000 fee, but your 10% is not over a course of 6 months, it's over a course of 3 months. Sounds a little complicated. If you need clarification, I can help you out with that, but a 10% return on your investment in 6 months is not a bad idea. The next thing you can do is Amazon affiliate marketing. So same thing as just regular affiliate marketing, but you're doing it through Amazon, and I don't have to explain to you what Amazon is. There's lots of videos on YouTube as to what Amazon affiliate marketing is and how to get started. The next one is a copywriter. So if you are someone who is good with words, who loves the English language, such as Kimberly, copywriting might be for you as well. Copywriting is basically writing copy for companies who are looking to advertise. So if you know how to play with words and catch people's attention with words and sell with words, copywriting might be for you, and it is a very lucrative business as long as you know what you're doing. So I know some people that are working for larger corporations. They sit down and write a little bit of copy, and depending on these sales, so if a company is making, say, $500 million a year and you're increasing their sales by 2%, you are getting that commission of 2% typically, or you can work out a commission rate with these companies. And some of these copywriters that I know are making anywhere between $10K per copy or $100K per copy, and that's just with one client. So you could get one client that pays you $100,000 in a matter of a couple months, and then you're good for the year basically, especially if you're living a off-grid homestead lifestyle. The next option is a coach or a tutor. So if, for example, like Kimberly is a teacher, you can tutor your students or you can coach students through anything that you know. So if you know science, English, history, math, food, nutrition, you name it, you can be a tutor or a coach and help people on there. Yes, you do have to find your own clientele. However, with the luxury of having social media platforms out there, especially like TikTok, where you can go viral very quickly, you can scale your business very quickly. So for example, Kimberly last year transferred her business, or not last year, 2 years ago when we moved out here, she transferred her business from in-person to online, and within a year she grew her business over 220% just using social media and platforms of that matter. The next thing that you can do is web development. So like I said, if you're working online, why don't you look at working online? So there are many people out there that don't know how to make websites, don't know how to navigate building a store, or you name it really. Yes, there are platforms like Wix and what do you call it? I'm not even sure what they have out anymore, but we use Wix. And I'll tell you right now, to develop a website takes a lot of learning. So if that's something that you want to do, you can learn how to develop websites. Once you learn this skill, you can kind of promote yourself, put yourself up on Upwork or Fiverr or any other freelancing jobs, and promote yourself and start working as a web developer making websites. And again, you can do that at any time that you want, morning, day, night, whatever it is. And a lot of these guys get paid between $100 and $150 per hour. So on to the next one. You can be an audiobook recorder. So there is a website that I can send you where you can log into, and they have a list of different books that they want you to read, and they want you to use your voice for the audiobook. Now, these jobs aren't the highest paying, but there are some that do pay very well. So typically they're anywhere between $20 and $100 an hour, depending on your skill set, depending on the topic that you're reading, depending on your accent as well. So yes, If you have an accent, that might come into play, because as you're scrolling through there's sometimes one might want a British accent, sometimes they want an African accent, sometimes they want an Australian accent, depending on the type of content that they're looking to produce and who their target audience is. So reading audiobooks can be quite lucrative. Transcribing also can be a very lucrative business, and a very easy one at that. And I'll give you a great example. So transcribing is, again, you're taking an audio and you're changing it over to text. Now you might be thinking, well, then I have to sit there and listen to the audio, type it with my fingers, and that's kind of time consuming, Andre. However, there are programs out there that can recognize audio and can actually transcribe the audio for you. So what you can do is put it on auto record. So basically what you can do is play your audiobook. It can read the audiobook. The other software program can listen to the audiobook and do the transcription for you. So it's an automatic thing. And basically all you got to do then is read through the transcription, proofread it to make sure that the capitals are where they need to be, the punctuation is correct, yada yada yada, and you're done. So you don't actually have to sit there for 2-3 hours listening to this audio and then using your fingers, potentially getting carpal tunnel and all that jazz. So that's another way that you can automate your income living off grid or working remotely. The next one is a blog writer. So that's one thing that Kimberly and I also are looking into doing. However, our plates are a little full at the moment. My English is not the greatest, so I'll probably bow out of that. But blog writing is something that is high in demand, and you can go to Pro Blog Writer, you can go to blogwriter.com. There are so many things that you can go on to, and you can write big articles for larger corporations, and you can get paid between 10 and 25 cents a word, depending on your wordage. That can be quite lucrative. However, you typically don't need much money living off grid or on the homestead, so you don't really need lucrative money, but having money is nice to have. The next one is video editor, and this is something that I learned on my own as we moved off grid, and this is something that I was doing before I even got out here as well. So being a contractor back in the day, I was doing a lot of social media, which brought in a lot of business. However, I didn't want to sub out the work, because when you're starting as a contractor, you typically don't have much overhead, and so you want to do everything yourself. So I can tell you right now, if you go to look up a software product called Shotcut, it's a very easy, beginner-friendly video editing program, and it's completely free. There's lots of tutorials online that you can sit down and learn, and you can become a video editor in no time. Now there's lots of people out there that are looking for TikTok videos, for Facebook ads, some sort of promotions for their business, and they all need this in video. So if you have a creative mindset and you have some patience to learn video editing, it is a great option, and I quite enjoy doing video editing. The next option is proofreading. So you can take someone's copy or someone's email or whatever it might be, proofread it, make sure the grammar's right, the wording is right, all that stuff, and then send a bill in for that, or come to an agreement as to what you'd like to get paid. But proofreading is something, especially nowadays, where here in North America, they are lowering the literacy rate, and people, like Kimberly sees it all the time, kids are not at the level that they should be anymore, and so as they grow up, people are going to have harder and harder times producing quality reading material with proper grammar and all of that. So that might be something to look into. Another thing is if you speak another language, is a translator. So you can help translate, say, Spanish to English, English to Spanish, yada yada yada. I don't have to go much into a translator. Lead generation. Lead generation is also something that is quite a nice, easy job, and that you can kind of do your own thing with. Lead generation is typically a business will approach you and be like, I need you to find me some clients. And typically this is something that you'll have to figure out is where to find these clients. So for instance, Kimberly, she has her virtual assistant who does lead generation for her, and she'll go through her social media platforms, reach out to different people that are following her on Instagram. Then she'll also go to like sports leagues. She'll go to different high schools, find emails there, email people who are interested in helping their child be better in school. Or she'll reach out to other teachers and say, hey, listen, if you have students that are struggling in your class, reach out to Star Students, and they can help the students achieve better success in their education. So lead generation is a huge thing right now, especially remote work. And the final idea that I came up with this morning is social media manager. And so I will tell you, hands down, managing social media looks easy. However, it is quite difficult. So there are many things that come along with social media manager that could entail developing content, that could be like photos, videos, written content. Then you have to also schedule. Then you have to also understand what schedules work for what industries, when to schedule in different countries, how to target certain audiences. So if you're looking at doing Facebook marketing or Facebook ads, how to run Facebook ads, what are some of Facebook's rules. And you have TikTok also, which hashtags work to make you go viral, which don't. So social media manager is a great job. It is full-time. There are ways to automate it once you get going, but there is a lot of homework that needs to be done for any of these jobs. So if you have one thing you do have living off grid or on a homestead is time, and you can use that time to your advantage by buckling down, learning a couple of these skill sets early on in the game, and which is all for free, and then implementing those skills and generating some income and being able to live this lovely lifestyle at the same time as generating some good money for your family. Hopefully this cleared up some misconceptions or some ideas that it's difficult to work remotely or on a homestead. And hopefully it also gave you some ideas as to what you can do for yourself. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.